Wisdom of Greatness, Part 1. Now, starting at a definite major purpose and exactly what it means. Your major purpose in life is you having to undergo every triumph, every tribulation, every challenge, every obstacle, and overcoming it, and allowing yourself to continue and to consistently push towards that thing that's inside of you that keep eating at your soul every day, all day, every morning when you wake up, before you go to class, before you go to work, before you get up out your bed. That first thing that you think of in the morning that you need to be doing or that you want to do for the rest of your life to provide for you and your family, that's your definition of purpose. Your definition of purpose is getting up out of your bed to step into the society and step into the world and to offer that part of you that could save someone, inspire someone, help someone achieve, encourage someone, push someone, or help someone to believe. That's what definition of purpose is. The definition of purpose is being conscientious of the things that are going on around you, being a constant in tune with the things that you want to do in this world, and being able to think on a positive spectrum of life. See, you have to tap into positivity in order to become truly great, because on the opposite side of fear is success. Fear holds a lot of us back, and with fear you can't think straight. With fear, you're not able to organize the ideas. You're not able to think and analyze the things that, or critique the things that you have always wanted to embellish, or the things that you had always wanted to write about or tap into, or the plan that you always want to put into action in order to be successful. And along with that plan becomes vision. As we go through this philosophy, I'm going to break down the dynamics of what being successful is all about, and what chasing your goals and dreams is all about, and why it is important to have the right amount of confidence, why it is important to jot down ideas, why it is important to communicate with others effectively, and communicate with your soul. The next objective is why it is very imperative to listen to your subconscious mind. So your subconscious mind tells you exactly what you want and what it means to you, and what your positive mind needs to do. Your positive mind can embrace anything in this world. You have to be able to navigate through downfalls. You have to be able to survive darkness. You have to be able to overcome the things that others are afraid to do or tap into. You have to be able to allow your mind to dream nakedly. And when I mean on a naked level of your mental, you have to break down the structures of your mind. You have to break down the crutches from your mind, and you have to feed your mind with positive food every day. And along with definites of purpose, you must be able to listen to through the spiritual ear and the spiritual realm of what the Creator has given you within this universe. And see, it's going to take a while for you to be able to contemplate on your spiritual ear if you're not constantly and consistently in tune with self. And when I say self, I mean self-reliance, self-confidence. You have to be able to allow yourself to be vulnerable to the conditions of what the society has laid out in this world. See, in society, so many people in this world are playing the game called follow the follower. And we can't play the game called follow the follower. We have to break the cycle. You have to break the cycle in order to show a great amount of effort of why it is important and imperative to create your own lane. And you create your own lane by being your own self, by being who you are spiritually, mentally, emotionally. You cannot allow the things that are going on around you that are negative affect you. You have to change that negative. You have to embrace the things that are negative and immediately turn them to positive. You have to have a great amount of wisdom to continue to motivate and push yourself even in your darkest hour. In your darkest hour, when you're crying at night, when nobody is there. In your darkest hour, when you broke and you don't have any food in your refrigerator. In your darkest hour, when it's cold outside, when your lights are out, when the lights are out. In your darkest hour, when you've lost a loved one, someone who you love so strongly and dearly, and that they're gone and passed away. You have to fight. You have to become a more of a fighter better than Ali was. You got to be a fighter 10 times stronger than Muhammad Ali, Holyfield, Mayweather, any of the strongest fighters. You have to continue to fight. You have to be a leader and lead your own way and lead the crowds, even when you have people that turn away from you. You got to lead and walk in your truth like Dr. King did, even when you have family members doubt you, even when people write you off, even when people talk about you and ridicule you, even when people call you out of your name, when people try to play you, when people try to take you for granted and you knowing it, you always have to approach it with, I can't let this take me down. I can't let this beat me down. I can't let this person break down my self-confidence. I can't let this person tear down my self-esteem. I can't let this person make me out of being someone who I'm not just because they are hurt. Don't you know that hurt people hurt people? And through organizing this philosophy, there are a lot of things that I had to pretty much concentrate on and zoom in on. I had to zoom in and day out. I had to realize that in order for me to organize something that can help my future leaders, that can help my future kids, that can help my future colleagues, that can help my future friends, that can help my neighbor, that can help those who are counting on me but have nobody else to look up to. I had to realize through organizing this philosophy that I had to have a spirit of faith and that I had to believe, and that I had to know, and that I had to have a right amount of confidence and truth in order to let my people know that everything was going to be all right, and that everything is going to be all right. Because that's what the universe is. That's what the law of attraction is, day in and day out. Your life should be concluded with prayer, concluded with tears, concluded with goals, concluded with enriching someone. You got to include these things in your life in order to move forward. It's not just all about you. Someone needs you. Someone needs your smile. Someone needs your honesty. Someone needs your integrity to stand up for them when they can't even stand up for themselves. Someone needs you to believe in them when they can't even believe in themselves. Someone needs your purpose. You have a purpose in this life. You matter, ladies and gentlemen. You matter. When you wake up in the morning, you matter. That business mind that you have, it matters. That $1 million plan in your head, it matters. That investment that you want to partake in, that matters. That last course that you got to take in graduate school, that matters for you to get to the next level. You got to study harder when you don't want to study. You got to, when you don't feel like working, that's when you got to work 2 or 3 more hours on the clock. But while you working, you must be working on you too. While you working on somebody else's vision and dreams, you need to work on your vision and dreams. While you consistently grinding, you got to have a reason and a plan for why you are grinding. What is your reason? You must ask yourself. You must follow through with that plan. You must make a list day in and day out of the things that you want to work and improve on. And throughout that list, you must implement the vision that you see, the vision that you know is going to change your life or your kid's life or your husband's life or your wife's life or your employee's life. You see what I'm saying? See, you got to be conscientious enough to know that my life just isn't about me. My life is about somebody else. My life was designed for me to help someone else to improve their life. You see what I'm saying? You got to have enough willingness, enough courage, and enough faith to know and back it up in your spirit, and regardless of whoever that tell you that you can't do it, that you can't be successful, that you won't open that business, that you won't be that basketball player, that you won't be that football player, that you won't open that store, that you won't be that teacher, that you can't teach, that you won't be that professor. You got to have enough spirit and faith to back it up and say, yes, I can. Yes, I will. Yes, I am. See, that's what spirit of faith is. That spirit of faith that wakes us up. That spirit of faith that put those ideas in our mind where we don't even know where it's coming from or how we're going to get it. That spirit of faith when that bill come and you don't know how it's going to be paid. That spirit of faith or when you feel like giving up, but you know it's something that still has you here on this earth, on this planet, ladies and gentlemen. You got to understand that. You got to understand that I have a reason and I am here for a reason, and that my life is not over until the Creator says so. And see, what you got to be conscientious of is When you lie down and die, on your obituary, it's sun up and sundown. And in the middle of sun up and sundown, there is that dash. What is that dash? In between the years of you being born and the year that you died, what did you encounter throughout your life? You don't want to live a life miserable. When I say miserable, I see it all the time. You don't want to be that person that said, I wish I could have or should have done what I was called to do, or something that, or the desire to do it that was always in your heart to do it, but you was just afraid because you was afraid to step out on faith, or because you put up too many blocks of fear. Break down the blocks of fear and tell your mind what you want it to do over and over again until you're doing it. If the mind can believe and achieve and conceive, then the mind will do whatever you tell it. Because that's the power of the mind. And that's going to be the power of your mind when you're done listening to this philosophy thoroughly and backing it up with a spirit of faith and actually going about your life day to day, knowing that there is a higher power higher than me and that I must follow through with the plan. See, the rest of your life and throughout your life is about carrying out that plan. Only you know the plan. You know what the plan is. You know the plan and the vision that you envision in your mind, that you manifest, that you think about every day, all day long. Your plan or your dream or your vision could be music. Maybe you always wanted to be that singer. Maybe you always wanted to be that pop star. Maybe you always wanted to be that rock star. Maybe you always wanted to be that activist to help the people of this world who can't fight for themselves, whether it's in the LGBT community, fighting for rights or racism, standing up for your culture or someone else's culture. Maybe you always wanted to be that president, that nurse, that doctor, that spokesperson, that journalist. Maybe you always want to be that teacher or that successful wife or a mom or a dad or the best brother or sister that you can be, or auntie or uncle you can be, or grandfather or auntie you can be. Maybe that's something that was inside of you that you always did but didn't know how to execute it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you how to execute it. You got to start by putting in appropriate action. Attack the action and do it. Just do it. Just get out there. Take a chance. You don't have to keep procrastinating and waiting and saying, I'm going to do it tomorrow. I'm going to do it next week. I'm going to do it next year. No, do it now. Start now by tapping into your purpose. Your purpose can't take off until you do. You must believe in yourself enough to not worry about the say-so of others. Don't you know the conditions of others can be passed along to you, and that can infiltrate on your thought and your mind and your vibration? You got to look at it like this. Look at your thoughts as you being in a lane by yourself on the highway. It's maybe 3 or 4 or 5, 7 lanes, but you concentrating on that effort in your lane. That lane is your purpose. That the other car in the next lane, that's their purpose. Don't swerve out of your lane unless you're swerving towards the drive towards your purpose. I don't think y'all understand me. I don't think you heard me clearly. Don't swerve out of that lane your lane that was designed for you, because your car is in that lane and you are in that lane. So that means your mind, your energy, your thoughts, your vibration, the law of attraction is in that lane. But you cannot swerve into the next lane unless you're swerving into your purpose to lead the way for someone else to come into your lane with you, or you creating another lane for someone else. And the next thing, the next part of definition of purpose is being able to be true to who you are, being true to yourself, being able to accept you for who you are, and being able to break down the flaws that you consider aren't worthy enough. You got to embellish in them. You got to get those weaknesses out and bring them up and out of you and turn them into strengths. Do you hear what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen? The things that you consider weak, you have to make them strong. You have to compartmentalize, break down your pain, break down your ideas, break down your daily guide into compartments in your mind like file cabinets. And so today, I'm going to work on this and put that in that file cabinet in my mind. The next day, I'm going to work on this and put that in my file cabinet. Break down, create the file cabinets in your mind so that you won't overwhelm yourself, so that you won't be suffer from anxiety and depression and the things, because your mind is so overcrowded and you so much of either of a overdoer or overachiever or a procrastinator. But when you organize your thoughts, as well as you're going to organize this philosophy into positive and back it up with a spirit of faith and believe and get up out of your bed and achieve and be right on, oh, you'll be right on your way then. Because you know why? That means you mastered the art of infinite intelligence, because everything around us is intelligence, because someone was intelligent enough to build it, start it, or create it. So you have to be intelligent enough to tap in what's around you so that it could give you and provide for you the things that you need in order to align your purpose and your vision and your plan and do what you need to do to carry it out. Use the resources around you. Now, I didn't say use people in that tone or that manner. I'm saying the resources. And you know what the resources are. The library. Your cell phone. You got $1 billion cell phone in your hand. Why you can't put it into action and use? And search, research. Go to the books, encyclopedia. Sometimes you might have, if you want to become a lawyer, go get around other lawyers or paralegals. Communicate. Open up. Step out on faith. Step outside of your comfort zone. Go visit other cities. Go see your people. Give back in some type of way. Go sit with the homeless. Go do something. Be human. You have to be human. You have to be positive. You have to be able to be vulnerable. You have to be able to show your naked soul, not your naked body. Ladies and gentlemen, you have to be able to listen and show your naked soul so that when you get those negatives out of you, then you can glow and shine, because you allow your soul to be fed with the optimism of the universe. The law of the land. The law of the land has been the law of the land for years. And it's going to keep going on and on and on. It's the law. And you know the law. So if you know the law, don't be satisfied with less. Don't settle for less. Don't just take the peanuts that someone is giving you. Don't just take the pieces of the pie when you can have the whole pie and so much more. Why settle for less? The people that chose to be successful are people that went after it. They went after their definite major purpose and put into the universe their contribution. They rewarded themselves and others through their contributions, and the contribution was through their work and their work ethic and the things that they kept doing. And if something you fail at one thing, then you got to get up and try it again. Try something else. But keep trying. That's the whole objective. That's what your definition of purpose is, to keep going. Every time you fail, you got to get back up. Every time you get knocked down, you got to get back up. Every time someone tells you no, you got to keep going till somebody tells you yes. And even if nobody telling you yes, guess what? You got to create that lane. Create your own circumstances until you get what you need to get. But the whole objective is not to give up, because that's not the purpose. You weren't put on this planet. Your mom didn't give birth to you for you to give up. She gave birth to you for you to keep going. You see what I'm saying? Because when you look at it now, and look at all the things that you've achieved in your life, right? And everything that you prayed for along the line of those times, haven't you received that? Whether it was good or bad. And be careful what you pray for, because sometimes what you pray for may not be necessarily what you need. That's why it's important to know thyself and be aware of self and self-awareness, and take that time to be alone, and take that time to be able to hear yourself in silence. You see what I'm saying? Ladies and gentlemen, it's important that you be able to see yourself in your darkest moment, because you got the power through that. In your coldest moments, sometimes you got to be left out in the cold. Sometimes you even got to be cold and freeze in order for you to just count on your mind to keep you warm. You hear what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen? You're going to suffer many a nights. You're going to suffer. You got to suffer, because that's going to build character. You got to struggle through the adversities in life. You can't appreciate the sunshine without any darkness. You can't appreciate the spirit of positivity if you haven't had any negative things in your life. The experiences come from downfalls and letdowns and pain, struggle, obstacles, and those who said that you can't be who you need to be or go where you need to go. You have to be strong, and you have to love yourself. Love yourself. Love everything about yourself, from the color of your skin, from the texture of your hair, from the way that you walk, from the flab on your arms, the stomach, whether it's big, flat, or small. Love it. You have to love every ounce of who you are in order to achieve your definition of purpose. Because if it's no love in it, it can't grow the way it needs to. Think of a flower. How can a flower blossom if someone don't love it enough to feed it, to grow it, to water it? And that's how your mind is going to be after you finish listening to this philosophy. Your mind is going to be able to create circumstances. Your mind is going to be able to carry out that plan, because you're going to believe. And in order to believe, you got to have faith that you can achieve. And when you break down those barriers that's been holding you back for years, or those barriers that was always in the way, or those thoughts that was always telling you that you couldn't do it, you're going to back that up with enthusiasm and say, I can. Even if you don't even have the finances to do it, you're going to do it. You know why you're going to do it? Because you're going to know you can do it. And when you achieve one thing and accomplish that, that lets you know right there that anything can be done. Ladies and gentlemen, it can. You can do whatever you put your mind to. All you got to do is believe. Believe. Have the faith, the right amount of confidence and prayer. And work at the things that you lack. Keep working and start where you are. Don't wait till tomorrow. Tomorrow is not promised. You got to keep going. Because that's a part of your purpose. A president don't come president overnight. A senator don't come senator overnight. A school teacher didn't come school teacher overnight. They chose to do because that's what they thought of day in and day out. And if you could become what you think about, then that means you can become it. Because you become what you think about every day. The old philosopher Ralph Waldo Emerson always said, man is what he thinks about all day long. Dr. Maya Angelou once said, nothing will work unless you do. The old philosopher and great wise educator Earl Nightingale, he once said that if human beings can alter their lives, then they can alter their attitudes and minds. So if you can alter your life, you can do that by starting out by altering your attitude, your gratitude, and start getting your mind geared into the person, into the things that you want to overtake and undertake in this world. You have to believe. You have to know it. Day in and day out. Day in and day out. Prepare. Stay ahead. Malcolm X once said, the future only belongs to those who prepare for it today. So you have to keep going. And you have to keep fighting. And you have to keep believing. And not only do you have to keep dreaming, you have to put that dream into action. Napoleon Hill once said, the late Napoleon Hill, put it into specialized use. And that's what you have to do. If you want to be successful, if you want to be great and truly great, you have to believe, go after what you want, tell your mind, that's what I want, that's how it's going to be. Start with a plan, believe in the plan, and carry out the plan. It's just like you running from first base to second base to third base. And that's what carrying out the plan is. Going step by step by step by step until you make it to home run. And when you make it to home run, ladies and gentlemen, that's when you know that you have encountered the definition of purpose and that you're living out your dream. Akita Gilmore. Greatness of Wisdom. Audiobooks. 2018. January 5th.